digging a hole or something. All that stuff moving
I
around
wish.
was like loud, super loud. Okay, are we
Is that
live?
me or
Oh,
is that me?
No, it stopped now.
I have my thing on my desk here. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, looks like we're live.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, we are
Let me
live.
close this down. Maybe that
Ne-
caused a problem. I have
Neato.
Facebook open. Maybe that was.
Oh, you know what? Let me close my Facebook as well.
Maybe that caused the problem with the audio there.
Okay. Okay, and it's cool because my Fallout 4 episode 12 is uploading. So that's cool too. Okay. Oh, and just a heads up to everyone, Crook Dog let everyone know that you can get the original Splinter Cell for free using the Uplay thing, which is a Ubisoft thing, and you get it absolutely free. So I did that. I'm having a hard time changing the settings of the high graphics and low. When I try to change that, it basically kicks me out.
Sammy, have you tried the alien thing with the settings I gave you?
Oh, oops. No, I still have to do that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
No,
I'll
that's
do that
all right.
tonight. I keep forgetting. I go
No,
back
that's
to,
all right.
to
I'm just curious. I hope that solves the problem.
yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Because you said every time the alien shows up, it kind of like kicks you out or something.
Well, not every time. It's usually whenever he starts to come on. So maybe the first time it didn't happen. When I play along, he comes back again, and then it will do it. The OBS would just crash on me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I titled this one "Series Talks: Stranger Things," Netflix original. So I'm with some very good friends of mine here from our group chat. Okay, and I first heard about Stranger Things through Movie Mike over there, and
That was the first time you heard about it?
yeah, I didn't know about it until I saw it posted on the Facebook. So he brings all these great things to my attention.
So
like,
you
for example,
don't usually look around online,
not
like movie sites and things like that.
Yeah, I don't look around in that way, but like say if I go on Netflix and then I see something, I mean I may have just kind of seen it, but I didn't like, it's just like flooded with a bunch of stuff. There's Stranger Things, there's Penny Dreadful, there's a bunch of stuff, but it was Movie Mike that brought it to my attention. I had no desire to see, click and see what exactly is that about.
Right.
Yeah, you're like the fourth or fifth person I've gotten to watch the show.
Yeah, because of you.
Track record to keep up.
Oh yeah. You recommend some great stuff along with
It's a great show.
Game of Thrones. Oh god, yeah, I cannot wait for season 2.
Oh, okay.
I actually just read that the Duffer Brothers pitched the show like 20 times to different networks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody
and
wanted to
NBC,
pick it up.
ABC, Fox, they said no thanks. And then here comes Netflix to make a great show.
That is good.
Now.
Well,
it's fantastic, and it's gotten such critical acclaim. I'm sure they're kicking themselves for not picking it up.
I'm glad it went on Netflix, because if it went on ABC and those shows, they wouldn't be able to get away with the swears, and it's better this way.
But if you think about it, there really isn't anything bad about it. There's no language. There's no real overly gory things or anything.
Language. I heard the boys say, "Don't be a pussy."
Well, I think that's
word.
pretty norm right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Pussy, that's pretty bad.
That's true, but I don't
like pissing.
I don't think I know a single person.
Off is okay. I think now on Netflix television.
They can say pussy on TV now. Pussy.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Wow. And I heard him say asshole.
I don't remember that.
I've heard him say shit, but they didn't say.
Well, the thing is, they could get away with some of that. That's an easy change. They wouldn't even notice that change.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing for me is I don't know a single person who watched one episode at a time.
Oh.
Everybody watched half of it in the first night.
That's true.
I was the only person that watched 1.5 episodes the first time I saw it. I watched one episode and started telling everybody to watch it.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I went through 4 episodes straight in one night. I couldn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so good. I wanted to see what was coming next, and the only reason I stopped it was I had to go to bed and get up to work the next day, and then it was like, okay, now we're going to the end. There's only 8 episodes. Let's go to the end.
Yeah. I think it's an 8-hour movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
literally with only about somewhere 45 minutes, so like a 7.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
if you think fucking Batman vs Superman was 3.5 hours, was 3 more. A good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much feel that way with all television shows right now. I mean, I usually, like now, there's a couple that I watched, like Mr. Robot and things like that. I will wait until it gets to the end, and then I'm able to get all the episodes so I can mainline them. To me, it just feels like it's like a mini movie that you're watching, and to have to wait. I kind of picked this up after Breaking Bad. It was like to have to wait an entire week to find out what happens next just bugged the hell out of me. And so I do that with all my television shows now. My Penny Dreadful, Wayward Pines, all that stuff. I tend to wait until the show is done, and then I'll just watch
doing that too.
2 or 3 episodes.
Although I will say, watching Breaking Bad live was a nice water cooler show.
Yeah,
that you could talk. And,
that
so
final
watching
season.
That on Sundays and then talking about it with my coworkers.
Yeah, especially that final season. Once everybody was on board, because if you remember, it wasn't until about the 4th season that people were watching it.
Yeah.
It was like The Sopranos for me. I was like 2 or 3.
I watched the DVDs on the first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
What show is this? You're talking about Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Sammy, have you ever seen that?
I saw the episode with he was trying to kill a bee. It was a bee or a fly or something.
Yeah, don't count that episode. The fly episode's a great episode, but out of context, it looks like a stupid episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
kind of
really
like that one, but okay.
It really was. It's
I think
standalone.
Breaking Bad is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yes,
Wow,
I totally agree. It is right up there. That fly episode is like a standalone episode. It has nothing to do with the story.
It has nothing. Yeah, I think you only see Walter and then Jesse. That's the only people in the episode, and the fly, I guess.
And the fly. Okay. Yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken,
mistaken,
that is directed by the guy who directed Godzilla.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan
Johnson.
The Fly episode is directed by the guy who did Godzilla?
Not Godzilla. What did Ryan Johnson do?
Looper.
Oh, Looper. Okay. Yeah. So if I like that Fly episode, I guess I'm going to like everything else on it.
Well, Ryan Johnson, and he's doing the new Star Wars movie. The
next
Star Wars movie. Yeah.
I think they're done filming now, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I like how we started on Stranger Things, now we're talking about Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is a potpourri. This is a potpourri of television shows.
Multimedia, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to bring up another one, I'm just about in the middle of season 2 of Fringe, watching it for the 3rd time.
I never finished that show.
You never did, huh?
Did you? Let me
ask you.
Let me ask you. 2 or 3 episodes of season 5, then I stopped.
Let me ask you, did you get turned off by the change in direction of the show?
A little bit, yeah.
I have a couple
other
friends.
Other happened where I just forgot about it.
Yeah, I have a couple friends that were like, well, they dropped the monster of the week, and they went into this alternate reality type thing, and I lost interest. And I myself am backwards. I like that monster of the week stuff that happened in the first couple seasons, but I love where they went with the observers and the alternate reality type stuff. So I'm in the minority, I think. But great show all around. I appreciate a show that eventually comes to an end and wraps everything up. You don't see many television shows that do that.
Well, they get a finale.
Yeah, like Breaking Bad. You can't bring Breaking Bad back, and the way they kind of did with Saul was a genius way to do it.
Which is another great show.
Yes.
Saul's a great show.
Here's this character from that show that you kind of, it's like, do we really want to see where he came from? But
I was so worried about that. Like, why would they bring that character back?
Yeah.
But oh my God, it's actually even more dramatic than Breaking Bad was.
Yeah.
So anyway, to go back to that, Sammy, you should watch Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see. I forgot what I have.
It's all
I
on
have-
Netflix.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, because I bought one of them when it was on sale, and it wasn't even like the first. It was like the third or fourth because it was pretty cheap, like cheaper than all the rest. I think I only paid like,
Season 3 or something.
yeah, it was like season 3 that was for some reason the cheapest.
You could probably get the entire season now for like $50, all 5 seasons.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all 5 seasons. Well, 5.5 seasons or whatever are on.
And
Netflix,
it comes
so
to a
I
beautiful
watched it. I
end.
can binge the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, wow,
beautiful.
okay.
It comes to a
Interesting.
beautiful end, and
Yeah.
yeah. It's just great acting, great writing, great storytelling, great story. Wow, Gus Fring, man. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, man. I'll say
Cool.
nothing else. Say nothing
Yeah.
else. But yeah, Gus
No,
Gustavo.
that's one of those shows you don't want to be
Interesting
spoiled by.
character.
You just want to go into it blind. Don't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how you guys were talking about how when a show ends, it's good for it to like end like in a happy note.
Yeah.
You guys probably heard of, I think it's called The Lost World. It was like in the late 90s, early 2000, I think even just like late 90s. Lost World with Veronica Layton, who was Jennifer Odell, the beautiful blonde. There was Marguerite. There was Challenger. There was
Lost World.
Roxanne.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's this
remember
television
that.
series on Channel 9 around the time of
The Lost World.
The Lost World. If you think about it, it lasted for 3 seasons. It was
Tell,
on Channel
tell
9.
us tell us the story. What was the plot line?
Okay, well you probably heard of Lost World. So Arthur Conan Doyle's thing, where you got the group. You have Challenger. You got I forgot the guy's name, but he's like a reporter. You have Marguerite. You have Roxton. And they're looking for this doctor, which I can't remember the name, and they go to a place called the Plateau, and it's literally like a lost world, kind of like Skull Island, but they're having a hard time getting back. They can't get it off that island. It's become magical or something. And there's dinosaurs in there, lost civilizations. And
Wow, why don't I
absolutely
remember
fantastic.
this?
Well, look at the price, how much this box sets are. I have all 3 seasons, but it's very expensive now. But I got it when it was still cheap back in the day when it came out. And it ended, there was supposed to be like a 4th season, probably even 5th, but it ended in a way where it was literally a cliffhanger, and I don't like that because they thought they were going to go on, but they lost funding at the end of it for some reason, and it just never completed. I won't say anymore, but it's still worth watching. And Jennifer Odell, look her up. She's absolutely gorgeous. She starred in some kind of zombie film later on, but it's Jennifer Odell and all those girls.
Yeah, too many television shows have just ended because they were canceled, and
canceled.
they haven't. I recently heard Deadwood. I believe that was an HBO show called Deadwood. It was a Western that kind of just got canceled way before its time, and all the cast members are coming back to do a movie, a 2-hour final to wrap everything up. And I like when they do stuff like that, I mean, even kind of with Firefly, they ended it. But they did a Serenity, and they didn't wrap everything up, but they kind of put an end to things, I like that. But there are so many that just are left out there. But I love when a series comes to a full end, like Breaking Bad, like what's the other one I was just thinking about? Continuum.
Oh, okay. I gotta hit that last one.
Yeah, it has a final episode, which is very bittersweet. The way it ends. So
there's like 6 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, there was only 6 or 8 episodes for the final season, but they knew they were ending.
Yeah.
If the producers know they're going to be canceled, at least give them the same thing with Penny Dreadful. If they know they're going to end it, let them end it. At least put a bookend to the thing.
Well, is that what happened with Penny Dreadful? Even though I didn't see. Okay, don't say nothing because I of course didn't. I could watch it on the Xfinity, but here's the problem: they have season 2 until the final one. Or not season 2, episode 2. It started with episode 2 for the 3rd season up to the final one. I don't want to just skip episode 1, and I can't find episode 1 anywhere. I don't know why they did that. But.
Yeah, you need to see it from the beginning. But yeah, they did that same thing. They knew that was going to be their last season, and the producers and the writers, they said, okay, well, let's finish this character's story. Without giving anything away, and they did. They ended it. A lot of people were a little upset with it, but because they ended a certain character's story arc, but other characters. There were so many characters in there: Frankenstein's monsters, Dorian Gray, all these different fantasy monsters, and they were left out there, and people were a little upset at that. But there was one character that the producers have come out and said that this was basically that person's story. So we ended it.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I won't say whom, and that's why, unfortunately, I'm spoiled in that regard. But
no. Just as long as you don't say who it is, or
he's according to him, he said it's always meant to be like a trilogy. But I don't know how true that would be, because maybe now it's meant to be a trilogy because he ended it. But it would have been cool to see more, but
the same with like Breaking Bad. I mean, you knew eventually Walter White was going to come to an end.
Not to be confused with Frank White.
but it was just brilliant, because by the third and fourth episode, you were so invested into that show, and you wanted. It was one of those. He was one of those characters that went bad, and you loved him for it, and you followed him, even though he was doing wrong. And then you kind of felt sorry at the end, for all the characters. All of the characters you felt bad for. But at least they knew they were coming to an end, and it was time to close it all up, and they ended it brilliantly, I thought.
It's funny, again, like what Movie Mike said. It's titled Series Talk Stranger Things, and we're talking about other things.
Oh, well, Stranger Things. Yeah. Stranger Things was amazing. I mean, you're talking only 8 episodes here. I mentioned in another hangout, it's like, how are they going to do a second season? Do we need a second season? It was great the way it ended, and do we want to see more?
Well, Movie Mike has information on that.
Go on, Mike. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I said you have information on that, on second season.
It was laggy, so I couldn't catch up.
Oh, okay. Oh.
We're talking about Stranger.
Sorry.
About Stranger Things?
What
have you heard of the season 2 of Stranger Things?
About jumping ahead and stuff like that. The years, and he said they're jumping
second
ahead like
season?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's technically been greenlit officially yet. But Netflix executives said that it'd be stupid not to.
Wow.
So I don't know. That's close we're gonna get at the moment to a go ahead. But the Duffer Brothers said that they're gonna go ahead about a year into the future, and it's gonna be this characters, maybe some more. Because obviously, if we've all seen the show, so spoilers, I guess.
Spoilers, guys.
There's some shit still going on. Yeah. At the very, very end, obviously, when he looks in the mirror and he coughs and he looks, and all of a sudden he goes to the upside down.
Yeah.
And he spits out the little slug thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was obviously there too long.
Yeah. And
maybe he turned into that thing. Maybe he's the monster. I don't know.
Yeah, or he brought it into now they're really going to bleed together.
He didn't get a whole lot of explanation about that monster.
No, like what in God's name is that? And it only showcased only one of them, who I was hoping to see like a whole armada. And didn't this just kind of remind you of like a little bit of like X-Men in there? Because she's like like 11's story have nothing to do with the monster in that upside down world. The upside down world have nothing to do with, the two separate issues here. One can be just X-Men.
No.
One can
she just found it. She was doing the thing, trying to listen to Russians and stuff for the Cold War, or whatever. But she ended up going so far into the future or whatever, she went to a fucking dimension, and that fucking thing hurt her and came crawling run towards her.
Yeah.
And so she ripped a hole in the fucking fabric of time or whatever. And that's where Stranger Things came from. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Again, obviously spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they keep the style of the show, I would be very happy because the style of the show is very Stephen King, John Carpenter, Steven Spielberg-ish.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg is definitely Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter, even George Lucas a little bit.
Yes.
Like it's just all 80s all the time, which I didn't realize how much I liked it.
That was the main reason. That was what captivated me about the show. And if they're going to keep that setting, that feel, I'm ready for the next story. You know, it just calls back to that innocent time. You know, of children out there trying to figure out what's going on, and the aspect of being a young child, and it was an amazing breath of fresh air, that show, when it came out. Again, I knew nothing about it when it first came out. I only had heard about it, and probably like you, Mike, I was like, well, I guess I'll watch this because everybody seems to be talking about it. And of course,
I watched it when it first came available. I saw the teaser trailer for it, and at first I thought it looked kind of silly. Like I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. It looks like it could be nostalgic. And like I said, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I started telling everybody to watch it because I enjoyed it so much. I knew I didn't even care where it was going. I just loved the atmosphere.
Yeah, I didn't even see the trailer. I usually tend to avoid all that stuff, and so I just went totally into it fresh. And the first 5 minutes, when the opening credits come out and that synthesizer score started for the theme, I was like, "Oh my God, this is like John Carpenter. This is amazing," So
you're right. Once the theme kicked in, a smile came on my face. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be great."
Yeah.
Like I was in. I was all the way in.
Someone equated it to like Tron music too, like the synth kind of Tron, and I absolutely loved it. The look, how it's faded. I don't know, maybe my monitor is my monitor, but it looked faded to me. The Stranger Things logo, as it's coming on, and
and it had sparkles. It had sparkles like an old film. Yeah.
Yeah. It felt, and I was just like, God, it's like, when I watch classic shows, like not just like A-Team and MacGyver and all that stuff, but I'm talking about, you probably heard of like stuff like, you ever heard of show Manimal? Misfits of Science. Sure, that was like earlier. Yeah. You heard of Misfits of Science?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, a young Courtney Cox. Oh, Misfits of Science and Manimal, and there was a show called Werewolf. A guy named Squazzini. I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm just thinking about the '80s, and it just sucks for me because you can't go back and.
Well, that's the whole. We can go into a whole new philosophical talk about life. I'm in my 50s.
I saw Manimal in Pavaroni's house. Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, it's 2016, and I remember the 70s, the 80s so vibrantly, so well, and the way movies have changed, Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, all these people, Carpenter, coming out throughout the 80s. And when I saw Stranger Things, it was like, who are these people out of time? They just made this movie. It felt like it was kind of like Turbo Kid. If you ever seen that movie, Turbo Kid.
Awesome.
There were these really bad, gritty movies of the 80s that came out, after the fall of New York, post-apocalyptic type crap. And when Turbo Kid was released, I was like, this movie belongs in the 80s. Hobo with a Shotgun. This movie belongs in the 80s. Why are we seeing this now? And it was those directors, those producers that grew up during that time and wanted to touch into that spectrum and created these wonderful, there you go, these wonderful
and
movies.
Just the look of that too is,
I mean, the poster art is screaming the 80s. You would go to the cinema and you saw that up there. They even have the creases. Okay. If you look, they even have the creases of the poster up there,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a whole nostalgia thing that's going on right now. I was talking to Skinslip. I sent him a message earlier when he started watching Stranger Things, and I was like, what's going on? It's like all of a sudden these people are making these movies that are so nostalgic and they're entertaining to everybody. It's amazing. It's great. I love it. I really do love it. The Renaissance, if you will. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and like how you brought up like with Turbo Kid, how like it's okay. Like back then in the '80s, you might consider that like bad acting, but then when you reenact something like that now to like reminisce back to what to kind of like bring back as a nostalgic thing, like to act like how it was in the '80s and the bad acting in the '80s, but you do it now, then that's considered like the acted good, recreating a bad acting of the '80s, so that makes it good to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like similar how they did like with the Turbo Kid. You're it, with Apple and the music, the synth kind of music as they're chasing each other, playing tag, and just the fun time they'd have riding the bike. It brought a tear to my eye, and it just. And
the storytelling alone. Finding out that she is a robot essentially, and that is what you would find. The bad guy. There's always like one bad guy, and he's got his croonies around him.
Yeah.
And that was the thing of the '80s. Everybody copied that story. There's one bad guy. Everybody needs, there's the fighters that are around him. Even like Jackie Chan movies and Seagal movies. There was always one guy, and there was a group of people around him, and he had to get through them to get to him. And but this one was about a kid. And he found this technology, and he was able to fight his way to the main guy, and he makes friends with this robot girl that he kind of has things for, and she is so cute. She is so wonderful in that role. She's just so innocent and so
seemed like she'd really be a robot, and her eyes are so wide. It's it's like I can't, they're sitting there. I should have came sooner. I should have done something better. No, you came back to save me. I should have done better. I'm not like Turbo Rider. Well, maybe not, but you can be Turbo Kid.
Yeah,
I love that. And the hole in her, he says, "You're a robot." He starts backing off. She goes up. "You're it." Oh, just absolutely love that.
Yeah. Mike, you've seen Turbo Kid, huh? I think there's a delay.
Oh God. Okay. Say, Mike, you've seen Turbo Kid, right?
Is there a lag? Is there a delay?
God.
Is his audio off?
Say, Mike. Mike, move your mic. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you've seen Turbo Kid, right?
No, I started watching it a little while ago.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. It's
so I don't know how good it is. I heard it's not great, but it's great because it's not good or something like that.
Yeah. No, it is great. It's if you like Stranger Things, and I mean like. It's Toddy Walnuts brought that to my attention, by the way. So thank you.
Yeah, it is a throwback to those '80s movies, but not the good '80s movies. The bad '80s movies.
Yes, which I absolutely love. By God, I got Barbarian Queen right over there. I got Deathstalker. Yeah. Red Sonja, and But then you got stuff like Road Warrior.
Star Crash.
Star Crash. Oh no, one of I think it was Hasselhoff's first film.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been. And what a cast. Okay, I have it. Oh, it's behind me actually, but
beautiful Carolyn Monroe.
Carolyn Monroe, but you have Hasselhoff together with frickin' was that Christopher Plummer? I think it's Christopher Plummer.
Plummer.
You have Christopher Plummer.
Joe Spinell, who's in the original Maniac.
Okay.
You have Marjo Gortner, he was in Earthquake. He was in a bunch of like disaster films. I mean, it was. And it had such horrible special effects.
The music and.
But I'll swear, I've never seen a Starfield so colorful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. you know, that orchestral kind of music, so cheesy, and you see the stars, it's all different colors, like Christmas
It's like
lights,
Christmas tree
and I
lights.
absolutely freaking love it, yeah.
Yeah,
But such beautiful models when you see the ships, right? You know, the
Yeah.
models, such intricate detail, you know, it probably doesn't make any sense if they don't look a lick of thing, but when you look at it and then, you know, it superimposed with, the, you know, the Christmas lights, oh, I'm sorry, it excites me, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were the cheesy. There was a really cheesy movies. Hell, Piranha that came out in the '80s. So cheesy and horrible, but it's considered now a classic. You know?
Yeah. Who goes swim? There's a warning. You don't swim in a military experimental base. There's a sign. It clearly says, you know, and you still go in there.
And Piranha 2. Piranha 2,
Piranha
directed
2.
by James Cameron. His first movie.
Wait, Piranha 2. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've seen Piranha 2. I've seen Piranha. You know, it was kind of like a remake with.
Piranha 2 had Lance
Elizabeth
Henriksen in there as the sheriff.
Wow.
And it was what's his name? James Cameron's first film, basically.
Oh, he starred in the film.
No, he directed it.
Oh, he directed. Yeah. Okay.
Lance Henriksen was in it. Yeah.
Didn't he start off as
Joe Dante did the first Piranha.
Like, he did like the effects or something with the sets. I think with like Galaxy of Terror or something like that.
Yeah. Yes.
And James Horner, of course, that you know his first music. Gigs on getting stuff for his his orchestral music. Yeah, James Horner.
Yeah. Speaking of music, I mentioned before I'm rewatching the Lost in Space television show, and Irwin Allen. Man, you know who his composer was in all his shows? Was John Williams.
John Williams. Okay.
John Williams, the Star Wars, the Jaws.
Yeah, I know. Of course.
E.T.
Oh, wow.
He did Lost in Space. He did Land of the Giants. He did Time Tunnel. He did all that music. And if you watch that show again, any of those old shows from the 60s, the music is amazing. It really.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
But then when it went colorized, it went.
It was like.
That's it. Oh, I loved it.
That was old John Williams.
Coming up in the spaceship and they say, kind of off topic, I guess, but Jeremy Soules, who does the composition of the music for like Skyrim and Oblivion and a bunch of other stuff. I think Guild Wars I heard this. They said that they called Jeremy Soules the John Williams of the games for orchestral music. Yeah, Jeremy Soules.
Well, there's a handful of favorite composers. I love John Williams. I love Bernard Herrmann.
Oh, Bernard Herrmann.
Gosh, I love. What's his name? Oh, how do I love him and I don't know his name? The one.
Oh no, it happens to me too, man. I'm trying to remember who these people are.
I'd have to look them up. But anyway, go on, talk. I'm talking too much with you guys.
Oh no, it's okay. No, when I start getting on to something, I start babbling. Okay. Oh yeah, movie. Okay, moving Mike's back. Okay. Sorry about that.
The one who does the music for Inception. Can't think of it. Crimson Tide.
Oh, hold on here. Not okay. Hold on. Jerry Goldsmith. There's
No. Well, Jerry Goldsmith from the Apes movies. Yeah.
Okay. And
no, he's a modern. He's a modern composer.
Not James Horner. Okay.
I'll look it up.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. Stranger Things. Yeah. Back. Taking it back to the 80s. But speaking of the 80s. Hans Zimmer. Okay, Gladiator. Yeah. Okay. Yes, yeah. I like Hans Zimmer.
I love his music. I love his music.
And Gladiator, you got Lisa Gerrard to do the singing. You know that there's a music with her singing. That's her in there. She was also singing, and something that's out of character is Ichi. Not Ichi the killer, but Ichi, the blind samurai woman. And it's a Japanese thing. Like you don't completely, but you have this Irish person, Lisa Gerrard, singing like in that Irish kind of style, you know, in there. It's amazing. Lisa Gerrard, I don't think she. Wait, it is. Lisa Gerrard is Dead Can Dance from Dead Can Dance. If you like Dead Can Dance, they use real, authentic medieval instruments and play medieval music. So it's different. It's not just like they're not just playing medieval music, they use the actual old school instruments and play the old school medieval. They use the actual old medieval instruments to play medieval music. So I absolutely love it.
Dead Can Dance. You
Dead Can Dance.
reminded me of a kind of B-movie, zombie movie called Dance of the Dead, which is
Dance
really
of the
funny. I think it's hilarious.
Hey, Sam, Raj, I gotta go actually.
Oh shit.
Oh,
okay.
all right.
Well, you have like a closing thing you want to add to about the Stranger Things? I'm sorry, we got off tangent.
Can you hear me?
Oh God. Yeah. No, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I gotta head out. I gotta head out.
I want to sincerely apologize for going off tangent. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's just
I'm
cool.
so sorry. Oh dear Christ. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. It won't happen next time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And hey, if you see Suicide Squad, please, maybe if you'd love to join Gary G, Trepasser.
Yes,
and if Don Star have seen it too.
I'm not think I'm gonna see it this weekend. I might see it next weekend or something.
Yeah. Next week is probably when we're gonna do it.
I've read all the spoilers and shit already, so I don't care.
Okay. Okay, so if you want to just be a part of it.
I know what happens.
Okay, cool. Yeah, hell yeah.
I might watch it, but I'm not gonna be involved. I won't be able to talk about the film, so I wouldn't be involved.
No rush to go out and see it, huh?
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Movie Mike, for joining us.
All right, man.
So yeah, you guys can keep going. I got some stuff I gotta do.
Okay. Thank you again. Movie Mike.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
It's good to talk to you. Good to talk to you, Raj.
Yeah, same here, man.
So glad you
talk
guys
again.
Okay.
Right. I see you guys.
Okay. Good night. Good night, Movie Mike. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like there was a weird delay there with him.
Yeah.
Almost like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It took him to hear us.
I think you know what? I think because he uses a like an iPad or something. I think he uses a pad. He doesn't use a computer for it. So that I think has something to do with it. Jess Hampton kind of like that kind of same way too, because he uses his phone.
Yeah.
When he records, so somehow he does it like that way. Shout out to Jess Hampton. Okay.
But I hope we didn't like overtake. I wanted him to join in, but
yeah, I messed up.
I think there was a delay
full responsibility.
there. No, I think there was a delay there where he couldn't join in. I don't know. Maybe we were further into a topic where he couldn't jump in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I wanted to say though is speaking of 80s, you said you do remember Misfits of Science, right?
Yes.
There's one particular episode I remember vividly, where the guy he thought the whole thing, how they have powers and stuff, was a whole dream. So it would like he would it would show, it's one of those I don't know what you call those episodes where they're kind of like a flashback episode, or where it shows like a reminiscent episode where it shows old clips. And then when he wakes up, he's there and he's telling, I had a dream where we had powers. I'm getting goosebumps again. I had powers and you were in it. I think there was a black gentleman in there. He could shrink. He could get small. You got the kind of like the Elvis kind of guy. He's not really Elvis, but like a punk guy. Johnny Be Good. The Johnny Be Good song. He could shoot electricity from his hands. Oh, I remember seeing that, and I was in Paul Veroni's house, and I remember we was watching those. And Werewolf, and I wish that would come out on DVD, or at least DVD, if not Blu-ray, because Misfits of Science, Oh,
it seems to get lost because everybody talks about Twilight Zone.
Oh.
And all those other shows seem to get lost in the background.
Oh.
Like One Step Beyond, or what was the other sci-fi cinema? I think was a show. Outer Limits.
Outer Limits. Okay, I remember that.
Which I love. If anything, that was like a Monster of the Week show. Every week, you had a different alien or monster or something in there.
And speaking of Monster of the Week, Monsters.
Monsters.
Oh, so good. I remember. I think it's called Talk Nice, and it's like a Gila monster, a lizard or something. He's receiving this kind of like a phone call all the time from some stalker woman. Okay, it's like, yeah, just be nice to me, and like, if I see he ruined everything for his girlfriend, he's trying to get back together with her, and then just get, I just want to meet you in person, and I just want to give you one big kiss. And it's like, okay, get close to the phone, get real close, because this is like the old days before cell, like
yeah.
You had the cord and you had that big. Okay, so he gets closer, and all of a sudden it busts out. The lizard Gila monster comes out and then jumps on him on his chest, crawls up to him, and she's got lipstick on, mind you.
Yeah.
And kisses him, and it ends right there. God, that was such a fantastic episode. And Tales from the Dark Side. The one where this girl rents the room upstairs, and there's some creature in the freaking closet, and it was under the bed for a while, and then you would see the scene where she goes up to her bed. And comes in,
that episode was directed by Tom Savini.
That was Tom Savini. Okay.
The one you're talking. He created that alien, that weird creature in the closet. Yeah.
And then at the end, it jumps off the stair banister and jumps on the man. It's like, I don't know, was that his daughter or something? I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it was like a deformed, kid.
Daughter.
Yeah.
I loved it. She killed him. It killed her. Just, and took her into
Remember the one, I think it was in the Dark Side, or Monsters, where the grandfather was dead, and they didn't want to accept him as dead, and he was at the dinner table and his nose fell off.
Okay. I remember little bits, but honestly, I
seem to remember that one. I don't know what show that was from, but.
And there was one with, this is a Tales from the Dark Side one, with the teddy bear. The teddy bear would attack all the dolls or something like that. At the end, the mother stabbed the it's called Ursa Minor, Ursa, the constellation, Ursa Minor, the bear, and cut it and threw it in the trash. Well, guess who got pissed off? Ursa Major. So the big bear comes and attacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he cut the little bear. Oh, the stuffing came out. Yeah.
There was a Christmas one too, where there was like a giant thing coming in the house, trying to get into the house. I believe it was a Christmas episode. Yeah, no, there's a lot of great shows, a lot of great genre shows, like that. Dark Room was another one, where I remember the first episode being where a guy. He was a reporter, and he wanted to see how it was to be on death row. And there was only one person that knew he was like an innocent guy. And he was put on death row, and he was dealing with everything. And they bring him to the electric chair, and they cover his face.
Yep.
And they're just about to pull the thing, and they go, well, you wanted to know how it feels. Here's how it feels. And they take the mask off, and he's already dead. He died of a heart attack.
Oh, shit. Okay,
it was different. Because he didn't think, because all the little calls he was trying to make, they would deny him. Like, no, we don't know who you are, And they wanted to give him the full feeling, and he dies of a heart attack. Really, some really good genre, scary episodes written out there.
The one I was thinking about was the new the new Twilight Zone, something Eric Grady, or What About Eric Grady, or something like that, where he tried to execute him, and you know what? I think Alicia Witt was in it as well, and it starred Jeremy Sisko and Alicia Witt, and she was like the representing.
Oh, you remember the actors?
Yeah, and they try to execute him. What is it? I think first it was electric chair or something, or was it like the lethal injection? I can't remember. But anyways, he couldn't die. So everyone's now free Eric Grady, Bradley Grady, something Grady.
Yeah.
And they couldn't free him, and he would say, "I'm an innocent man. I'm telling you, I'm really innocent. I didn't shoot that clerk." So finally, because he survived like 3-4 executions, so it would be some kind of fail thing, they decided, you know what? Hit the gavel. You're innocent. You must be innocent. So they let him free. So guess what? And that lawyer that was defending him all this time says, "Oh, thank God." He goes, "Yeah, who would have thought that I would have blah blah this and that," and that guy never seen it coming. And then the lawyer says that defended him, saying, "Wait a minute, you told me you weren't there." "Yeah, well, I was. I lied. I'm really guilty. I killed the guy." And now he admitted to killing the guy.
Yeah.
Guess what? The fucking statue that was up on the church, or not the church, but the courthouse, falls and crushes him.
Yeah.
Because when you keep believing it that you're innocent, it prevented him from dying. But now that you admitted to your crimes, you die.
Yeah.
That was such a good one. Alicia Witt.
Well, that
from 13.
That all stems. All those shows, all those stories where there's a little snap twitch ending.
Yeah.
All stemmed from Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was the original from the 50s, and Rod Serling was a genius writing these stories and having these little trick endings. M. Night Shyamalan, Sixth Sense. We wouldn't have Sixth Sense without Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. He was dead all the time. Oh my God,
Yes.
Or
you would never second best.
He's a superhero. Oh, that's his arch villain, the guy that's been killing people trying to find who the super guy was.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it all stems down to Rod Serling in the Twilight Zone, which is why that show is so great.
Shit. I think it's called Eye of the Beholder. I just absolutely love that classic one. That's the one I've probably seen the most. They're all, they take the masks off, and there's nothing we can do about it. And she's like this gorgeous, beautiful.
Oh, that was Outer Limits. Oh no, that was Twilight Zone. You're right, that was Twilight Zone.
And they take off the mask, and they are ugly. Okay,
and they're all like deformed.
Phantom of the Opera. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to say that, Lon Chaney Jr. style, and.
Yeah, they're all deformed. She's beautiful, and she wants to be deformed like them.
Yeah.
So she fits in.
Yeah.
There was a night gallery. There was a night gallery episode like that. Again, Rod Serling came back, and there was a family that had this son that was real ugly, and it was kind of set in the future where they sent him to a planet where all those people looked ugly like him, and just so he could be happy. There's some great stories out there.
In the new Twilight Zone. I can't remember what it was, but everything's all right and something. I think it starred. You know what? It starred. Hold on. It starred. Hold on. Mummy. Who's the guy?
Billy Mummy.
Billy Mummy. It starred Billy Mummy in his Twilight Zone episode. He had the power to send people out to the cornfield with his mind.
Yeah.
Okay, black and white. Well, guess what?
Classic episode.
You're
a bad man. Again. You're a very bad man.
You're a bad man. Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
And the new Twilight Zone, the one hosted by Forrest Whitaker, they bring him back. What's his name? Billy Mummy?
Billy Mummy, yeah.
Billy Mummy.
His From real Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
He was Will Robinson.
And his real-life daughter, Liliana Mummy, you might remember from Santa Claus 2 and Santa Claus 3, Liliana Mummy, she's in there playing the real-life daughter, playing the daughter of Billy Mummy in there. And everything is still all right. I can't remember exactly the episode. And she had the power to send them out to the cornfields, too. By the way, Cloris Leachman played the mother of Billy Mummy. And they were sending people left and right, on the cornfield and everything. The world was just really changed. But guess what? She could do something that he could not do. She could bring me back. So she brought people back and start coming back. He goes, what the? And Billy Mummy's like shocked to shit. And he's like, yeah, okay. And he shook his hand. She goes, yeah, hey, Daddy, yeah, I can bring them back. And if they're not nice to us, they know where they're going, right? And he goes, yeah, okay. So where do you want to go? Let's go anywhere. And that's how it ended. And then Forrest Whitaker came and did his thing. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Such a great episode. Oh. Yeah.
They even redid that in the Twilight Zone movie. They remade that episode.
I saw the Twilight Zone. I remember the Nazi one. I remember the one with the Nazis.
The third movie where he pulls the rabbit out of the hat and the rabbit's like this demonic rabbit. Remember he has his sister watching the TV. She has no mouth.
Okay, yeah. I've seen it like a couple times, but it's been such a long time.
It was a remake.
I remember now, the magic.
Yeah, it was a remake of that thing. Everybody was eating peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah. Okay,
they were all like, "Oh, this is good. This is good. Yes, we like this. Yeah, just not to make the kid mad,
Absolutely. Yeah, and oh God, and I think the Sherlock Holmes one, I might be confusing it with another thing. Not Sherlock Holmes, the Nazi one. I might be confusing it with another Nazi thing, but which one? And I might be actually. It starred hold on here. It starred what's that girl's name from Under Siege 2, the daughter, and she was Catherine Hegel.
Oh, Hegel. Yeah.
She has to go back in time to stop Hitler, kill him as a baby. So it can't be an old one. So she goes back in time to try to kill Hitler. So this is my little baby, Adolf, and so to Pisanani and to Kiafe and to Facha. So he takes her and she's trying to find an opportune moment to kill the baby. And I think finally she's trying to kill it, and all the cops and they're like, all the Germans are like after her, and she's running with the baby. And what does she do? She looks around, jumps into the river, a big deep thing, and kills herself and the baby. Well, guess what? The other nanny that was, kind of partners with her says, shit. Now she fucked, because what's she going to do about Mr. Adolf and Mrs. Adolf, or Mrs. Hitler and Mrs. Hitler? So she looks around, sees a homeless woman, I give you money.
Takes her baby.
So that grows up to be the Adolf Hitler.
It wasn't really Adolf Hitler. It was,
no.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that. And there was another one at the new Twilight Zone, not the Forrest Whitaker one. I think it was called the Days of, no, not Days of Future Past. I'm thinking X-Men. The Days, something, the Once and Future King. And this Elvis Presley impersonator, he looked like Elvis and stuff like that. And he gets, and everyone says, like, you're so much like Elvis. And this one woman was telling her, yeah, I met Elvis once before. It was one of his final performances. He was talking about, like, I could have been better. It shouldn't have been me. I'm not worthy, I always wondered what it would have been like if it was the real Elvis. It was just going on, but I think it was a drug, she was saying. Yeah. Telling the artificial, the Elvis impersonator about the story. Guess what? He's in his truck. he kind of crashes and gets thrown back in time. He meets Elvis, the real Elvis, and Elvis says, "Wait a minute, all right, are you my brother? You're my brother." I forgot his name. He goes, "All right, well, come on back with me." And he goes, "All right, well, I got a song here to sing for you. Okay, now tell me what you think." He goes, "All right, yeah, this is great, yeah." And he's trying to not to spoil the way things go, but he's trying to listen, and he's singing. He's like, "Well, that's all right, oh mama, that's all right with me."
Yeah.
That's all. He's singing, "It's all right." He goes, "No, come on." And the impersonator said, "You're singing all wrong. You got to sing like that. Here, let me have the guitar here. Let me show you." He goes, "Well, that's all right, mama.
Shows him how to do
that's
it.
all right. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right now, mama." He goes, "All right, stop with that devil music." And they get into this fight. "What you saying about my mama?" And just start getting into this fight. He jumps on the real Elvis, jumps on the fake Elvis, and the impersonator. He lands on the part of the guitar that broke and impales himself. Kills that. The real Elvis dies.
And the fake one continues
on. That's why he was saying at the beginning of that one, he was ranting on in his old age. It must have been the drug, saying, "I'm not worthy to be the real Elvis." What if the real Elvis had lived? Things probably would have been different.
Yeah.
That's because that happened.
Those are great. Those are great, man. I love shows like that. It's surprising they haven't done any more shows like that, where there's a different story every week.
Yes.
Man, there's so many great old stories. Wow.
God.
Oh man. Yeah, I remember the new Twilight Zone. There was one where a guy wakes up and he can't understand the human language. He has to learn language again. He goes to like a dinner table, and his mom, his wife and his child are like, "Dinosaur salt eats bubblegum frisbee," and he's like, "What are you saying? You're all gibberish." And it turns up he like woke up in an alternate reality where those words meant a whole sentence. And he had to, like a child, he had to learn language again, but it was all a weird language.
I like that.
Yeah, there was one where a guy was walking around whispering in people's ears what the meaning of life was, and it would drive them mad. When they would hear it, they would just die. And you never, of course, in the episode, you never found out what they were saying, but it's just some great stories, great scary stories.
Joining in a moment, okay, son? Okay, I'll put something on later.
Dude, you gotta go. Look. Let me let you go because I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta go to work at 6 in the morning, and it's already like almost 8:30. So I'm gonna let you go. We had a good talk here with Movie Mike, and hopefully when we talk with Movie Mike again, our sync will be a little better. But Sam, good. Hey, not to bring anything personal, is Mom okay?
She's staying one more night, because for those that don't know, she's in the hospital.
You don't have to go into it.
But I won't go into it. I'll just say that.
Yes or no.
I'll just say, so far, yes, they're going to scan some more stuff, but the MRI turned out to be okay. So thank God for that. And we're going to find out, they're going to keep her for one more night, and they're going to run some more tests. So God willing, she's going to be
okay, man.
Okay.
Good. Well, best of luck, prayers to her, and
thank you.
I hope everything's cool, man. And we will talk to you next time, man.
Okay, sir.
All right,
thank you.
Sam.
Thank you, Channel Don Star from Don.
Thank you, Archmage Falagar.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you all later.
Okay, I'm going to end it. Bye-bye.